Hello everyone! In today's video, I'm going to share with you the early days of my life, specifically my career life after moving here to Norway. Before that, I just want to mention that when the visa came, it was not the best timing of my life. You know what? Because I was pregnant that time and the visa was just valid for 6 months. So within the time frame of 6 months, I have to travel, I have to proceed, I have to use that visa. And I don't want my godmother to go through again the hustle of attending to the papers that she had to submit because she was my guarantor, going through that again and submitting again the requirements to the immigration for me to be able to get the visa, because again she was my guarantor. That's my sister. She's also working here. I will also share with you how she came to Norway, and it was basically yes, because she's working night shift. By the way, I am done with my evening shift, so that's why I'm making this vlog, because I'm done. I've already endorsed the report, so this is now my free time. And she wants me to go home, and I said no, I want to make a vlog first. And my family is now asleep, so this is my free time. Okay, so going back to the time again that I had to use that visa. So I had to make a decision. It was like a take it or leave it for me. And within that 6 months, I got that visa in the month of July, and I was on my second trimester. Yeah, so I was about to give birth on the month of November. And the visa will expire on the first week or second week of January. So think of that. I was about to give birth in the month of November, and then 1 to 1.5 months after that, the visa will expire. So it wasn't an easy decision, but still I was very decided that okay, I'll take this. Of course, there was guilt because I gave birth on the month of November, and exactly 1 month after that, I traveled to Norway. I will try to find a picture of myself and my parents, because it's still so fresh how the situation was when I left. And believe it or not, I still had the bandage because I gave birth through cesarean section, and it was horizontal cesarean section. It wasn't the typical vertical cesarean section, so it was more painful than I expected. I remember that I was traveling with still in pain, so I was very careful. The wound was not that so fresh, but it wasn't healed. It wasn't totally healed yet, so I was very, very careful with that. And I had, of course, to take with me pain relievers in case I was in pain, so I had pain reliever with me, and that was the case. So when I came to Norway, of course, the priority was to study the language, and again, it was night and day. As long as I was awake, I was studying. I went also to Norwegian course. It was like an intensive course because I had, like what I have mentioned, I had to find a job within 3 months or else I will go home. We didn't have a backup plan after the expiry of the visa. So luckily I was able to find an employer, and the job offer was to work in night shift. And it was like 1 week before I was about to travel back to the Philippines. So again, it was God's grace. I know that God has always been with me all this time until now. It's just, everything was just in place. Whenever I was thinking that I think I will be traveling back to the Philippines, this is impossible, then I will be trying another luck with going or applying to other countries, but everything was just falling into place. So again, I found that job working as a night shift. So the first job offer that I got was as a nursing assistant, and it was at night shift, and it was very timing, it was very perfect, because working at night shift, the load is not the same as working in day shift and evening shift. So it was very perfect for me, because I was able to study. Believe it or not, I was able to finish two big, like, major nursing subjects. Like, I was able to read big, thick books, nursing books in Norwegian. And again, I was still new here in Norway, so I was able to make it because I had more time. So whenever, for example, I was done with the rounds and I was done with the necessary assignments during my first round, so usually the patients were already asleep, so I had this time, like for example an hour or two, and there was like nothing to do. So after checking the documentation system and I've done everything that I was about to do during that time, then I took time to sit down and studied again, like what I have mentioned before, night and day. As long as I was awake and I had nothing to do, I was studying. So I always had with me nursing books, and those nursing books that I had with me, the fundamental nursing, pharmacology, and pathophysiology. Oh, plus another one, anatomy. I think these 4 subjects are very important to learn by heart, and I needed to study in Norwegian. So it was self-study. I had this job position for 8 months before I decided that I want to become an authorized nurse. So I had an agreement with my employer, and that time also there was a need of nurse, certified nurse or authorized nurse in my workplace. So she was into it too, so she agreed that I proceed and take and comply all those requirements. So what I did was I sent an application to the Helsedirektoratet. I got denied at first, and then they stated there what I needed to comply. So one of those was to take the Norwegian language examination, an advanced level, and after that I had to take the course about the laws and regulations in the health sector here in Norway. Another one was to take the pharmacology examination, and that examination, it was all about medication and computation. It must be 100%. There was no room for wrong answer. It must be, you must get 100% score. Unlike in the Philippines, as long as you are 75%, then it's okay. You still made it. But not here. Pharmacology, the examination when it comes to medication, the computation, it must be perfect. Though you came up with the right answer, but if the process was wrong, or even if the process was correct, but then when you came up with an answer with using, for example, period instead of comma, because that's how it is here, you're still wrong. So you have to be perfect. And I also thank God. I have always this mentality that when I take an examination, I should make it on the first take, always like that since my elementary days. So I still applied it here and I was able to make it. And there was another requirement. It was for me to choose if I will take or have this clinical practice in a ward or in the psychiatry department. And I chose working in a ward or have this clinical practice in a ward since I was already working. So it was easier. It was the easier way to comply that remaining requirement. And my employer had this agreement with the head nurse in the upper floor, or it was in another department, and we were able to arrange the duties that I had that time. It was a lot of work. It required a lot of my energy. Think of that, I was studying in daytime, and after my schooling I will proceed to the clinical practice because it was a requirement. So it was from 3 to, let's say, 9 p.m. Then after that, I proceeded to work my night shift. What was good with my night shift duty that time was that I had to work 3 to 4 nights in a row working at night. And after that, I had like 7 to 11 days free. So I was able to focus my studies for me to be able to acquire the authorization to become an authorized nurse. And also, even if I was so tired or I was deprived of sleep for a couple of days, I was able to have a proper rest after the third night or the fourth night shift because I had several days of free time. And that was what I had to go through. Actually, I lost a lot of weight. I was super thin and I had these eye bags and I was so haggard. But I was like motivated. I kept on reminding myself that this is just 3 months. This is just 3 months, and 3 months it will just fly, as it's like an overnight time. I know that I kept on reminding myself that this is not forever. This is just a matter of 3 months, and within 3 months I'm already done. I'm already an authorized nurse. So another good thing was my clinical practice too was with pay. So I was very thankful with my employer. I think I have to mention her. Her name is Lenny Gistad. I call her Malena now because I think I will be forever grateful to her. She was the one who gave my very first chance of working here. Just like what or how I am so grateful with my godmother who sponsored my travel or my visa here in Norway. So I am so very grateful with these two persons. And again, this was my early days of my life, early days of my career life here in Norway. I will be researching if the requirements are still the same to those who are inquiring of how the process is to come to Norway, what are the different ways to come to Norway, and the process of applying as a nurse here in Norway or as a nursing assistant. I will be researching because rules might have changed already, because the rules that time, they were not the same when my sister and my brother came to Norway. and I will also be sharing with you how it happened too, because as the eldest sister, I was not thinking of just myself and my family, of my husband and of my son. This whole dream of mine was for my entire family. I don't know. I just realized that I am the eldest in the family, so I will be the one that will attend to my younger siblings and also to my parents if they ever needed me. I don't want to be a burden. I want to be the one who will be able to help whenever help was needed. I have a lot to share. If there is something that you want to question, or there is something that you wonder, just leave your comment in the comment section and I will try to answer. I will try to make a research. I would be glad to share it with you. And that is my video for today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening. Hope to see you around on my next video. Don't forget to like this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always notified whenever I have new uploads. And of course, share this video to your family and friends. If you have comments or if you wonder something, and if ever you have something to ask, I will try to research and give you answer and make a vlog out of it. And just don't hesitate to leave the comment. So see you again on my next video. Bye.